How to reduce child poverty. Hello, I'm Terrance, and I'm the founder of the Child Poverty Project, which is dedicated to raising education and empathy for the children living in the dangerous, damaging, and ignored world of poverty in the United States. This is episode 2 of the Have Not film series, which focuses on how to reduce child poverty in the United States. The first episode was released a few weeks back, so be sure to check that out. Now, to be transparent, I chose this topic for episode 2 because I don't know much about child poverty alleviation programs and policies. This is partially because efforts and impact seem minimal, and information on this topic is pretty scarce. I did, however, find that the Temporary Child Tax Credit, or CTC, expansion that President Biden signed into law helped reduce child poverty to a record low of 5.2% in 2021, down from 9.7% in 2020, according to the U.S. Census Bureau data in 2021. So clearly, the CTC was effective, which is consistent with what I found from the Child Poverty Action Group, CPAG, and the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine, which are the resources I'm going to share with you today. The first is strengthening tax credits for families. Tax credits such as the Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit, CTC, are effective tools at reducing poverty while encouraging workforce participation. In addition to supporting financial stability, the benefits for families with children who claim these credits also include improved maternal and infant health and higher test scores and academic achievement for students in elementary and more as adults. These tax credits can be further strengthened to reach more families and increase the credits for families with young children when family expenses are highest. The next is increasing access to affordable childcare and early learning programs. Securing safe and affordable childcare and preschool remains one of the most significant barriers for working parents and their children. Expanding access to high quality early childhood and preschool programs prepare children for school, support parents' ability to maintain stable employment, and provide economic benefits for our society. Another is offering earned family and medical leave and sick days to all workers. The lack of earned family leave for millions of workers in the U.S. leaves parents with the impossible choice between staying home to care for and bond with their newborn or taking a sick child to the doctor and losing necessary income. By making earned family and medical leave available to all workers, parents are given the flexibility to balance their obligations at home and at work, thereby promoting family financial security and independence and healthy child development. There are also several reasons for ensuring that earned family leave is available to fathers as well as mothers, such as reduced child care costs, reduced gender wage gaps, and positive impacts on child development. Paid sick days are also critical to help parents care for a child without risk of losing their job or necessary income. In my research and personal experience, there is a clear connection between how many single mothers there are in this country and children living in poverty. Perhaps I'll make that a topic of one of the upcoming Have Not video series. The next is supporting home visiting programs. Low-income families with young children face a host of stresses, including lack of access to time off work, reliable transportation, and meeting multiple competing needs. Home visiting programs, which pair overburdened pregnant women and mothers with young children who are facing multiple barriers with specially trained nurses, social workers, and other professionals, has been proven to engage families that face multiple personal and environmental problems to reduce likelihood of child maltreatment, domestic violence, and preventable childhood injuries. The Maternal, Infant, and Early Child Home Visiting Program is an example of this. Please check out episode 1 titled Waste People for more information on the adversity, trauma, and abuse that impoverished children are 9 times more likely to experience than children not living in poverty. Boost access to affordable housing and address family homelessness. Child and family homelessness continues to be an enormous and unacceptable problem facing our nation. This is partially because housing continues to be one of the biggest expenses for families, and the lack of affordable and adequate housing in many communities is one of the largest barriers to financial stability for families with children. For low-income families to access housing, we need reforms that increase the supply of affordable housing and changes to the tax code that promote home ownership and support renters. To assist families with children that are currently homeless, we need interventions that pair housing assistance with services such as early care and learning, adult education, employment, and mental health services to help children and parents recover from trauma and disruption of homelessness. And the last is investing in communities. Recent research has found that neighborhood income during childhood strongly predicts adult incomes. Poor children who grew up in neighborhoods with less poverty made more money as adults and stand a greater chance at escaping poverty than children in high poverty communities. Place-based initiatives that utilize public-private partnerships to leverage private capital and expertise can provide a framework and investment for communities to address concentrated poverty and create public schools. Is another critical way to invest in our communities for the long-term viability of our economy is dependent upon the education we provide for children and youth. So all these recommendations from CPAG are consistent with the list of 10 policy and program approaches to reducing child poverty from a roadmap to reducing child poverty by the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine, which aim to identify policies and programs that have the potential to reduce child poverty and deep poverty in the United States by half within 10 years. I hope this episode helped provide all of us with a basic understanding of child poverty mitigation strategies, which is important, especially once this issue is more on the public radar. But remember, change can only happen when people care. And right now, there is an unfortunate compassion deficit when it comes to child poverty. Please help me change this by sharing this video with your friends and by liking and subscribing to the Have Not video series for more content from this education and empathy project. Thank you.